Hi guys, I'm back. Sorry for being away for so long. But yeah, if you guys are wondering where I was, of course my CPU, was maxing out constantly. And yeah, 2 days ago the power supply blew. But I'm running MSI now because I've ordered an upgrade kit, which includes a CPU, the motherboard and the RAM. Okay, so what you're seeing on the screen at the moment is Miscreated the way you want to play it. Okay. If SMAA times 2 is a bit too smooth for you, you can always go to just SMAA. Okay. But I want to test the graphics card as well. Okay. So if shading and shadows is not necessary. Game effects, when it rains, it will blur your screen, that you can't see very far. And tessellation definitely adds an effect. Lens flare, you can use lens flare, for more realism. But again, it's going to be detrimental, in being competitive. So yeah, this is how I want to play the game. Okay, everything on very high except for shading, shadows and game effects. And I want the view distance at max. If a drop comes, I don't want to change the view distance to max. Okay, I always want the view distance to max. And then I can play around with the SMAA. Okay, graphics card is at about 86% there. So yeah, we can look at the recording, if this looks sharper. It looks sharper for me. Maybe the recording, will look sharper. But as you can see, the CPU is getting extremely hot, guys. And it's maxing out, okay? And there you can see Miscreated doesn't really use more than 8 gigs of RAM. But the upgrade kit that I'm gonna get does use... I just want to put the SMAA back to where it was. Yeah, don't know if this is gonna lag, but yeah, this is how I roughly want to play the game. The water definitely has a beautiful effect. Okay, so this is roughly how I want to play the game, always. Okay, and yeah, this is how I can showcase how beautiful the game is. So yeah, what I'm running at the moment is a 2500K Intel 2nd generation i5, and then I've got a GTX 970. Now with the graphics set to what it is, I can clearly see the CPU is the main concern. Okay, so that's the first thing for you guys. The CPU will be your main bottleneck. Okay, the GTX 970 isn't perfect, but I feel if you get a 1660 Super or a 1660 Ti, okay, it will be more than enough for Miscreated. As you can see, we are maintaining 60 FPS, but my CPU temperature is going to temperatures that I'm not very crazy about. But I want to use this benchmark now for when I get the upgrade. Okay, specifically for when I get the upgrade, I want to compare these exact graphics settings and CPU temperatures and percentages, okay, with the next thing. Okay, yeah, okay, my vision is blurry because I'm getting radiation. Whoops, and we don't have anti-rads. Okay, damn. That is gonna stuff up the benchmark a little bit, but yeah guys, I haven't really seen that the RAM goes above 8 gigs of RAM. Okay, so you can go with 8 gigs, but remember you want to run your RAM in tandem. Okay, so you want 2 channels to run. So instead of getting one slot of 16 gigs, it's preferable if you get 2 slots, okay, of 8 gig. Now I am going to try and sort that out with the, with where I'm getting the upgrade kit. I'm going to see if I can get 2 8 gig slots. But if I get one 16 gig slot, it's not the end of the world. I'll probably upgrade later on in any case. okay? But I'd rather prefer two slots, you know, 2 8 gig slots of 3200. So the PC specs at the moment is a 2500K with a GTX 970 and 8 gig of DDR3 Ram running at 1600 megahertz, okay, CL11. The upgrade kit will be a Ryzen 5 2700 running at 3700 megahertz. And yeah, unfortunately it's not showing me my core clock speed. But in my motherboard settings, it's showing that I'm not overclocking the CPU. So it's showing that the CPU is only running at 3.3. But when I install a little program like CPU temp, it's showing, you know, that my CPU is being overclocked to 3700 megahertz. So I might do another test where I just try and include, you know, the speed of the CPU as well. Maybe I can include the speed of the GPU as well, but you can clearly see it's running very hot. Okay, at max load your CPU is never supposed to go over 70. Okay, 75 is safe. Your CPU can safely go to 100 degrees Celsius, but you know that's normally when your system's gonna shut down. And as soon as your CPU gets too hot, you know, then it's gonna throttle your system. So all I'm gonna do quickly now is run to the hospital, see if we can get anti-rads so that I can just quickly get rid of this effect. I'll be back now. Okay, here we are now. It's loading in the hospital, and yeah, I think if the temperature goes to 90 degrees, I might you know, set the graphics down. You can see the CPU is maxing out now. Okay, so at Brightmoor and Hayward Valley, it's definitely gonna max out. Okay, although I don't know why the CPU is running so hot. Okay, I've seen other guys with the 2500K and it's not running that hot. But yeah, I did replace the thermal paste on the GPU and the CPU, and looks like the thermal, and it's not good thermal pasting. It's probably, the thermal conductivity is probably at 1.85, which is really low. But unfortunately here in South Africa we can't really get our hands on any really good thermal pasting. But yeah, let's just see if we can get anti-rads quickly. We should be able to get anti-rads quite quickly. Doors haven't been opened, which is a great sign. But yeah, you guys can see I'm running at 60 FPS constantly. And now that I'm indoors, the CPU is going down because it doesn't have to read so much. Of course, the fact that my graphics setting is also high. Okay, it's putting extra pressure on the CPU. But it's already running much better than it ran before, you know. But it will probably go back to limiting itself, you know, because I'm probably gonna have to push it, you know. It's gonna push itself to 100% usage all the time, which is never a good idea. So yeah, just some anti-rad medication will be very nice. There we go. Okay, so let's take the anti-rad medication. But yeah, like I said, I don't want the CPU to, you know, to get to max. I just wanted to do a quick benchmark. Didn't want to run the benchmark too long, because I think the thermal pasting on the CPU is not working very well, but the thermal pasting on the GPU, I used the same thermal pasting on the GPU, just like I did with the CPU, and the GPU seems fine, okay, because the GPU can steadily run at about 70 degrees Celsius. So yeah, even with max settings, you guys can see that the GPU isn't maxing out, okay, which tells you that that even a 970, you know, is more than enough. But with what I see here, of course, I have to run the test when I get the upgrade kit of the 2700X. And that is not the cheapest you can go, okay? It's not the cheapest you can go, but I definitely feel it's the best budget build that you can do, okay? Without breaking the bank completely, okay? You can get the 2700X CPU secondhand. Luckily, I can still get it new at my supplier because they've still got stock of it. And I mean, I'm running DDR3 Ram at 1600 megahertz, where the upgrade's going to give me Corsair Vengeance, which is going to be 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM that's going to run at 3200 megahertz. And then, of course, you know, I'm getting a 570 motherboard, which is just, you know, which just gives me some future proofing for the future. I will save a bit of money on the A320, but yeah, you know, since you're taking out this amount of money, getting them, you know, getting a proper motherboard to future proof it, that you don't have to, you don't have to replace the motherboard again, is going to help you a lot. So I think the upgrade will future-proof me for at least another 5 years. Although I will, next year, I will start building up the streaming PC, where, you know, I'm going to aim for a very high-end PC. But this is a good budget, a very good budget build that I'm aiming for. And yeah, the benchmark that I'm running here is going to be very important. I'm going to use MSI next time as well. But I mean, you guys saw, you know, that my recordings were lagging big time. It was partly dust, but it was partly because the CPU was hitting 100% constantly. And I couldn't really give you guys the footage that I needed to give you because I can't play in Hayward, I can't play in Brightmoor. Sultan lags very badly as well, and I can't talk to my teammates on Discord while I'm recording because my voice cuts out because my CPU is running at 100% most of the time, okay? So yeah, luckily I could do this upgrade kit, and then the graphics card that I'm going to upgrade from the 970 GTX to the 1660 Super. And the 2060, you know, I know the 2060 is a much better bet, but with my budget at the moment, it's not something that I can really reach, okay? So, and it's good for me to do a build that most of you can afford, okay? And no, guys, I'm not, you know, you don't have to do this just for Miscreated, okay? If you're sitting with old parts, you are just future-proofing your PC. The fact that it's AMD means you can multitask, okay, which I know a lot of people like doing these days. I mean, everyone multitasks these days. So if you want to get an 8700K, you know, Intel 8700K is going to give you much better single core performance. You know, but if you're multitasking all the time, or you like recording, you know, and doing various things while you're gaming, then of course an AMD, you know, is a really, really good bet. And yeah, I don't feel like the recording is really going to lag on me, which is really, really nice. But yeah, this is basically where I want to play the game, okay? This is the graphic settings that I want to play Miscreated at, okay? I've seen the game look better than this, but it's probably because of the shadows and the shading. So let's just see here. You know, if we put this puts a lot of pressure on the PC. Okay, so when we put that up, of course the detail is going to look a bit better, but you can see there the FPS is dropping majorly. Okay, and it adds a bit, but not enough. Not enough to. It doesn't add enough for you to go for a 2060. Okay, if you've got the money to go for a 2060, then rather go for a 2070. Honestly, you know, if you can go for a 2060, then a better value for your money will rather be the will rather be the 2070. Okay, 2070 will be much better value for your money. And like I say, it is looking a bit blurry, but we can always change the SMAA. You know, but then the textures start, it will probably look a bit sharper for you guys. You know, but it's not really showing how good the game can look. Okay, and I think SMAA 1 looks even a bit better with sharpness. Okay, and then of course we can put it off. I see a lot of people doing this, where they put it off. But I'll have to restart the game, you know, to let it look, to refresh the settings properly. But this is where I want to play it. Okay, game effects. If you want realism, add lens flare and game effects, but it's going to affect you negatively when it comes to the competitive side of the game. Okay, and I mean, yeah, I don't know if high will look sharper. But yeah, I'll see when I get the graphics upgrade if that helps at all. But yeah, it's not looking really sharp. If you guys look there, you know, it's not looking extremely sharp. And I mean, as soon as I go to high, I feel I get a little bit of a blurry line on the edge of the mutants. If I use SMAA 2 times, with high, I still feel I get a bit of a blur, you know, across the lines. So yeah, no. High looks a bit sharper close up, but it gets worse at a distance. So this is definitely where I want to play. And one day when I get the streaming, when I do the high-end PC, I'm going to play a 2K resolution, which of course is going to make a major difference to the quality that you guys will experience, because YouTube compresses 1080p videos at about 70%. But when you upload it at 2K, it only compresses the video by about 50 or 40%. So as your resolution gets higher, the less YouTube compresses your video. Okay? But yeah, this is definitely where I want to play it. And if you guys have got any recommendations on what looks the best, I've seen YouTube videos where the grass and everything looks fantastic. Okay, and I know the textures... No, the textures looks good, but on some videos that I've watched, the textures looked awesome. You know, really, really awesome. And it's, I don't know if it's because I just, you know, because I just use SMAA. Definitely looks a bit sharper. But yeah, tell me what you guys prefer. Definitely, yeah, the close quarters stuff definitely looks a bit sharper. So you guys tell me, you know, if you want me to use SMAA times 2, you know, or SMAA. But yeah, this is basically just the update. I'm getting the upgrade kit, which is the new CPU, motherboard, and RAM this week. And then I'm going to start saving up for the graphics card, the 1660 Ti, okay? And then I'm going to run the benchmark with just the upgrade kit, because I've got an idea the 970 GTX is more than enough for this game. Not 100% sure, you know, but I've got a feeling. I've got a feeling that this is more than enough. So yeah, just wanted to give you guys an update in case any of you guys were wondering why I was so quiet. Guys, when the upgrade kit comes, you know, and my CPU doesn't max out anymore, and I can give you guys action in all areas of Miscreated. Me and my clan is gonna bring you some sick action. Okay, absolutely some good shit. Holy shit, this gun is strong. That triple shot worked very well. Worked very well. Thank you for the amp coin, sir. Okay. So yeah, just a small update, guys. I'm gonna see if I can bring you guys another video. But like I say, I don't want to put too much pressure on the CPU at the moment. And like I say, I'm waiting for the upgrade kit. And I'd like to use some other thermal pasting. I'd like to see if I can get more expensive thermal pasting for the CPU. Because the CPU is definitely running, you know, way too hot. But for now, when I record, I'm probably gonna use these settings. I'm gonna put that on high. Yeah. We're just gonna run it like this next time I record. So yeah, next time when I start recording, these are the settings that I'm gonna record with. And then as soon as I've installed the upgrade kit, you guys will see the result. So yeah, it's my first benchmark. Scar also did a benchmark, but he plays at a very high FOV, you know, and a lot of it is third person. And he did the test with a 2600, which he overclocked. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna overclock anything, but for now the performance seems to be, you know, much better than it, a little bit better than it used to be. But yeah, the next time you guys see a benchmark of mine, the performance is going to be improving majorly, and that's the only thing that's important for me, guys. The only thing that's important for me is to give you guys the best experience possible, okay? And to promote this game in the proper way, okay? Where people can see how beautiful it is and how fantastic it is. Is it buggy? Yes. Has it got a lot of bugs? Yes. Am I buggy? Yes. Do I have a lot of bugs and problems? Yes. So that's what makes us unique. And that is what makes this game unique. And I must say, with SMAA and high, image definitely looks sharper. Yeah. Yeah. Image definitely looks sharp. So I like that. What screenshot are we gonna take here? What screenshot are we gonna take here, boys? Let's see. Are we gonna get a bit of extra sharpness here? Wonder what happens if I put the post-processing on low. One thing is for sure, when I get the upgrade kit, I am going to exit the game and restart the game until I get the best visual experience. But yeah, that is what I'm aiming for. Yeah, no, that definitely looks a lot sharper. So I'll see you guys in the next video. And yeah, just wanted to give you guys an update with what I'm busy with. I'll definitely upload a video or two this week, but just know that I'm waiting for the upgrade kit, and then we're gonna get into some serious action, boys. Some serious good shit. Okay, some serious good shit. I'll put this to high at the moment so that I don't blow anything up. I think that's a nice balance. Definitely think that's a nice balance. So yeah, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna be back with strength. Always, you know, always trying to give you guys better and better content. And yeah, if anyone's interested, you know, in helping the cause, I am gonna create a Patreon page with a very, you know, with the first tier only being $3, where we're gonna create a dream team, and we're gonna see, you know, if we can get this channel to where we want it. But yeah, thanks for joining me. See you guys next time. Cheers.